new platforms every day. Neither. New platforms every day. That's why I wait to get to go live, because sometimes YouTube just doesn't grab the mute command, and then I get a lot of interference. It gets crazy real fast. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to actually repeat myself. Good morning. My name is Judge Person. I'm sort of chatting a little bit to make sure people's audio connects before I get to the important stuff. But I do want to welcome everyone this morning. And so thank you. And I do want to go ahead and begin the pretrial docket. That docket is for folks who have pleaded not guilty. And what I'm going to do now is create a second room, and you'll actually meet with the prosecutor before we move forward today. And then I'll be working with people. So we're working 2 dockets, all right? The next thing I want to let you know, and let me just get that docket started. Mr. Matson is here. Mr. Matson, Ryan Matson, is the city's prosecutor. Mr. Matson, if you could come onto the screen. I don't know if you're connected there yet. There's always this kind of delay of things. Okay, so there's Mr. Matson, and he's going to kind of raise his hand and give a quick wave so everybody can see who he is. If you meet with Mr. Matson, he is actually not the not the attorney for you. He is the attorney for the state of Texas. And so I do want to just let you know of that fact. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead, Mr. Matson, and begin your docket with the Elizabeth Haltom case. And Ms. Haltom is here. And Ms. Haltom, I also will move both you and good morning. Thank you for that wave. I appreciate that. I'm going to move you over to that room with the interpreter that is here for you as well. So let me get that started. And it should be automatic that you go straight over. And Madam Interpreter, I'm working on it. Sorry, I meant to do that faster. Here we go. There we go. And Mr. Matson, moving you over as well. There we go. So just a couple of things. I've actually seen some people that I'm not sure who you are. So the first one I wanted to ask about is named Aro, A-R-O. And I thought you might be Aaron Seastrunk, but Mr. Aro, are you Aaron Seastrunk? Just unmute. I think you're saying yes. I just want to confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I have you logged in properly and that I have the right file. You're on the pretrial docket. Your turn will come up soon. We'll be with you shortly, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And I'm actually keeping people muted, and it's not because I don't want to hear from you. It's because when it's your turn, if everyone unmutes at the same time and starts talking, you can't imagine. It actually, no one gets heard at all because we all cancel each other out. The next person I wasn't sure about was just called iPhone 2. And ma'am, if you could just tell me your name.
Cesaria Mays.
Thank you, Miss Mays. And I'll make sure I'm going to change it on the screen just so that I don't lose track of you.
Okay.
And, but it'll only change it for this. Are you in a safe location?
Yes.
Okay. And we will get to you very shortly. And
Okay.
then, thank you so much, ma'am. And then the next person I'm trying to sort out just is, let's see. It's a phone, 254 phone number ending in 608. If you're on the telephone, could you let me know who you are? I sent you an unmuting request. So that might help. There you go. What's your name, please? Are you Miss on the telephone?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Jasmine Locke.
Okay. What's the last name? Gaddis?
Locke, L-O-C-K-E.
Miss Locke. Okay. you're labeled as someone named Gaddis.
Oh, well, that's my son's last name.
Okay, are you also on a telephone?
No, I'm not on the telephone.
Okay, because I was actually trying to find out who that is. And is there a
Yeah.
reason that you're laying down today?
Oh, I apologize.
Okay,
I'm not feeling good.
It's court, so we sit up and it's supposed to be on the screen. But I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I keep track of you, Ms. Locke. Thank you. I've got you logged in. Okay. On the phone, 254 ending in 608. I show that you're unmuted. Could you talk to me? What's your name, please? Okay, I'll keep trying, but I don't know who you are. So if you show up to court and we don't know who you are, eventually we just count you as not here. So it would be really helpful if you could just speak. I'm going to re-mute you and keep going. Let me know if I don't know who that is. Okay, so the other thing, Ms. Bautista, can you unmute?
This
it would
is
be
Ashley
helpful.
Johnson.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will definitely thank you for letting me know who you are. I will definitely get to you shortly. And I've now got you marked down as the right person. And I'm just going to change it on screen. And glad you're here. And I'll be with you very shortly. The phone can be a little tricky. The main thing is, I think people get on the phone and they get busy with something and they don't realize I'm calling their name. So now that I have your name, that's helpful because you're more likely to hear me. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Great. Okay. And Miss Bautista, can you unmute?
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Listen, I'm actually letting you know that I don't need you here today. I did receive your essay. It came in after hours. And we're good. We're good to go, I think. She didn't have anything else? Okay. So we're good to go. I gave it a quick look. I haven't read it all the way through, but it looks like it's going to be in compliance. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I don't feel like you need to sit here and sit here and sit here for that. So I'll get back to you if there's any problem. Otherwise, you're welcome to check in, maybe call next week and make sure everything is good to go. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bautista. Okay. And then there was one more. He's not here, so that's okay. I've actually got one more that I did take care of this morning. So I'm going to move forward with my docket. And then what's going to happen is that as I move things on the pretrial docket, when y'all saw Mr. Matson leave, I'll keep moving him along and I'll take the things that he has pending. And so just don't be worried when I start doing that. Let me get a little bit oriented on that front. On the halting case, I just want to have that file ready. So there are a few things that I think are really helpful for people to know. I found over the years, and it's been a lot of years for me at this point, I found that there are some things that help people to know before they get started in a municipal court. So one of those things is that, when you're given that ticket or issued a citation, that's all method that we have under the law for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or a response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, no contest. Okay. And I just want to give a brief overview of that and then let you know your options for dismissals in a court like this one. I think it's really helpful if everybody's on the same page. Hey, Mr. He's not connected yet. Okay. So he's just logged in. No sooner did I say he's not here than he was here. Okay, Mr. Hromadka. Oh, still connecting to audio. Okay, so if you plead guilty, you're actually admitting that offense. You're saying, I did this, okay? If you plead not guilty, you're contesting the charge on a trial, okay? And then if you plead no contest, you're not admitting or denying the offense, but you're moving forward with the sentencing. So if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm moving you forward with sentencing, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about options in a moment. If you plead not guilty, you're asking the state to prove that case against you. You're contesting the charge. And we don't have an innocence plea in America, because if we pled innocent, we would have to prove our innocence. The state is required first to prove the case. If they meet a threshold showing, then you're required or can defend yourself. So that it feels like a fine knit thing, but when the larger the case, the more critical that becomes. But it's the same here as it is in any court in the country. Okay, so you're presumed not guilty. If you plead guilty or no contest, we move forward with sentencing. This is a Class C court, which means that there are some dismissal options. I'm going to go into those. If you've pleaded not guilty, we're moving that case not towards sentencing, but toward trial. Okay, so there's a pretrial today, and then there's a court pretrial, and then we're moving after that court pretrial to a trial setting. Mr. Hamadka, he was connected and then he got disconnected on the audio. Let me see if I can clarify things real quickly. Oh, Mr. Hamadka.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, so I did review your file this morning, and I reviewed the note that you supplied, and I was able to make it out. It was not readable, so a clerk wanted me to get a good look at it, and I did get a good look at it. And I needed to waive your fines and costs, so I did that this morning, and that means that your balances are going to be zeroed out, and you are free to go. Okay.
I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. So I'm going to let you go now. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You too, sir. Okay, so so if you plead guilty or no contest, there's still 4 ways to gain a dismissal, and those are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Now, compliance dismissals are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. The law has to specify that can happen, but where the law specifies that can happen, then what I'll be doing is trying to get you to that dismissal option. Okay, so what I'm going to say there is you're welcome to ask me about it, especially if you think there's something I need to know about that compliance issue. But I'm going to be looking for those automatically, seeing if I can get you to those dismissals. Okay. So let me give you a hard example. For me, I'm kind of concrete. So I like a concrete example. So for example, let's say you're driving down the road, you put on your blinker, you make your turn, police officer stops you, says, hey, you didn't put your blinker on. You're saying, wait a minute, I know that I did. I really specifically know. You and the police officer figure out your blinker's broken, and you get cited for not failing to blink, but for a broken blinker, defective equipment. You bring it to court, you show us that you fixed the blinker, you're on time to court, that one's critical, and you pay a $10 fee and the case is dismissed. We have to have proof that it's fixed. You have to be on time. It has to be eligible under the law, but if it is, we're trying to catch those for you, okay? But definitely talk to me if you think I'm missing something, if I'm not talking to you about it, okay? The next thing, so what you can expect from me is that I am truly looking for that option for you. Now, driver safety course is for moving violations only. You do have to be on time, be a Texas resident, not be a CDL holder, and not have gone in the last 12 months to the class for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed. If you've gone for insurance, that's different. I'm going to pause right there on the driver safety course option, and just Mr. Mattson, let me get those folks moved back over.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that should take just a quick moment. With the driver safety course option, if you are in that program, you have to pay your court costs. I'll talk more about that in a minute, and then get in your record, get in your class, and we do a dismissal. Okay, so Ms. Haltom, Ms. Sloan, Ms.
Miss
Matt-
Sloan, you're still muted, just so you're aware. Thank you.
There we go. I actively make people do it. Okay, there we go. So, Mr. Mattson, where are we with regard to this charge?
Your Honor, we have agreed that I will be reducing Miss Haltom's fine to $25.
Okay,
And I can print out the reduction form if you'd like and send it over to the court.
that would be great. And what are the court costs?
The court costs are $134.
Okay. And then I guess my question is, Ms. Haltom, do you need more than 30 days to make that payment?
Your Honor, this is the interpreter. Ah, there she is. I found her.
There she is. And they move, unfortunately. It's just, I don't know how to make that be different. There's not a way, actually. I know that.
Okay. So, Your Honor, the interpreter would like to repeat the question for Ms. Haltom.
Certainly. So my understanding is that you and Mr. Mattson have agreed to make a no contest plea that you are making on your own behalf. He has reduced your fine down to $20. The court costs are $134. That brings the total to $154. And my question becomes, are you able to make that payment within 30 days?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And then what I need to do or try to do today is get a signature from you on that document. If I email it to you, can you print it, sign it, and email it back to us?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you. Okay. So we will email that over to you this morning. If you don't see it, it means it didn't get through. Email us and check on it. We'll email you back.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. And do you have any questions?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes.
So I have an appointment at 3 o'clock. Do I still have to come back at 3 o'clock?
No.
No. So everything's done.
Everything is resolved.
Everything's finished. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Haltom. Thank you, Ms. Sloan.
Thank you.
Y'all are good to go.
Okay, you can be dismissed now. Thank you. Bye. Yes,
Bye-bye.
I can leave now.
Yes.
Yes. Leave. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Mr. Mattson, I am moving you forward. I am just reviewing dismissal options, and I just want to finish those, and then I will let everybody start moving through their lines. Okay, so we talked about compliance, driver safety course option. I think the last thing I said was, then you turn in your driving record and your class, and your case is dismissed. You do pay court costs. It's important to note that. Every ticket has a court cost and a fine, okay? And in the driver safety course option, you pay the court cost, the fine goes on hold. If you turn in everything on time for that program, the fine is zeroed out and you've only paid the court cost plus your record and your course. However, your course, your record, and your court costs are going to be cheaper than paying the whole ticket. We do try by law to incentivize people to do what is safe, and the course actually increases better driving behavior for a period of about 12 months. There's no mystery as to why we can do this every 12 months. It's because that's really the effective zone for most of us. So If you want that option, I will let you know, I will be automatically reviewing that option for you on a plea of guilty or no contest and letting you know. Now, if you know that you can do it and you don't want to do it, that's fine. No one's going to force you to take a class, but it will save you some money. It will keep the item from being a conviction on your record. And that can be important for some of us. Okay, so then the third option is what is called a deferred disposition. A deferred disposition means deferred, means delay. Disposition means to finalize. And I delay making your case final, okay? And I put a court order in place. The court order specifies what is needed in terms of how to gain a dismissal. Those usually run up to about 180 days. And we sort out the fines and costs and payment, whether there's a record, a class, or a document due. You need to keep your address current and not get arrested and not get further charges. And if you do all of the things listed, then you gain a dismissal of the matter. Now, the way that one works is you're supposed to make the request at the time that you enter a plea. So guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred, okay? You're supposed to ask me instead of me asking you on that one. That's kind of important to note. I'm not going to give you the long-winded legal reason for that, but I'm going to tell you that's the status under the law at this time. So make that request of me if you have not yet done so, okay? The next one is teen court. And with teen court, what you're doing there is I just expect that if you're a high school, middle school, or homeschooled student, I'm going to be seeing if you want to do teen court. It's a little bit like a deferred, but there's some differences that are key. And I'll talk to you about that if it looks like you're a student. Okay. Let me know if you're a student if I'm not asking you about it. Okay. So those are really the options for dismissal. Mr. Prosecutor, I'm going to move you forward. Your next person is Alvin Chi or Alvin Chai. Mr. Chi or Chai, how do you say that?
Chi.
Very good. Okay. So Mr. Chi, Mr. Matson, Mr. Chi, what you can expect is when you go move into that room, when y'all are done having that discussion, I'm going to have you come back into this room. We'll do a quick check-in before I let you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there we go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Matson. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to ask Lavorde and Di to please unmute. Good morning, Miss Di. How are you today, ma'am?
I'm fine, and you?
Great. I'm pretty good. Thank you. Hey, I did review the information that you have here, and I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, okay? Before we get kind of started. So we sent you a pay show on a payment plan that is behind. I noticed that I did read what you told me, which is that you've lost some hours at your job. You're also starting a new job. I know your new job actually has not begun yet. The other job, was that the job at TTEC or is that?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so the new job is a different location?
Yes, ma'am.
Where will you be working?
I'll still be working from home, but it'll be with Humana. It starts Monday.
Oh, with Humana?
Yes, ma'am.
I actually know what that is. Okay, and so I used to work for Hospital Corporations of America, so I know what Humana is. Long time, previous life. So what I will tell you, and I wanted to ask you too, I have noticed this payment plan, it's not high, but still you've got a lot going on. And it seems to me one option that we still have available is to look at community service. Now, the thing that's good about community service is that I'm allowed to work with you for longer periods of time. I just have a lot more leeway there. I can do that. I could make that order. I can also lower your payment plan. That's another option. Let me just tell you what we're kind of looking at on both fronts, okay? If we did community service, and there are 5 cases, and some of them had gotten very high because of warrants a long time back. If we did community service, it would be 86 hours total for all of them. If I lowered your payment plan, and I would review your case after court and see if I can do any reductions, and then lower your payment plan to $25 a month. And I'm actually at the place looking at everything in totality with your circumstances and everything you have going on, that I'm going to let you tell me what's going to work best for you.
So who would the community service be with?
Okay, so, and then so you're in Killeen. I have a
Killeen
list.
Temple.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a list. Okay, great. I have a list of places that are all approved. They're around town. There's a couple in the Belton area. I've tried with Killeen, but I have lived over there and I know how it is. Things just come and go in Killeen a lot. And I'm
Right.
never able to keep like a very effective list. But my list basically tells you if it is a nonprofit under Texas law in a way that is verifiable, okay, I'll take it. So churches, it can be your church. It's just your church. You can't be employed by your church. And if you are, then I need to confirm that you're not getting paid to do the hours that we're doing for us. But any nonprofit under Texas law, I will allow. It just has to be verifiably a nonprofit. So you can use my list because that's a good place to start. Or you can look for a nonprofit and Killeen. Just verify with them, make them prove to you that they are a nonprofit. I've had a lot of people donate free time to a profit organization. I don't know what happened there. I'm not going to accuse anyone of something untoward, but the truth is I can't accept it under the law. So, it's a verifiable truth because you can go to the Secretary of State for the state of Texas and look at their list. And some of those, that's another place I tried to do with, but the problem with that is you call them and they're not answering and the information isn't any good. So if it's listed there, I don't have a problem with it, but we need to be able to reach them as well, whoever it is. So does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it'll probably be better for me to go ahead and do the community service.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take your list, but I'm pretty sure between your list and of course my church, I'm pretty sure I can get it done because I'm not employed by them, but they have a lot of stuff going on that I volunteer for. So yeah.
Just make sure whoever's supervising knows we're going to call and check it and that they're available and that they're authorized to do that. And if you can do a hybrid, if you do some at one place and some at another, just copy the list beforehand. The timesheet that we're going to give you. I want one from every place you go.
Okay.
So I will give you that list. I can email that to you. I need a signature on one page. If you're able to print it and sign it and email it back, we can email to you.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. The email that we use to set up today's meeting, is that the best one for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then I will let you go and let the clerk know to email that to you this morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dine. Do you have any questions before you go?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, Mr. Mattson, I know that you were talking with Mr. Ty, and are y'all at a point of resolution? Or are we heading to trial?
At a point of resolution, Your Honor, Mr. Chi is going to be placed on deferral.
Okay.
And he said he can just pay in full once the deferral paperwork has been processed by the court.
Okay. And let me just take a quick look. I'm sorry, let me ask the clerk. Does he have any? Oh, it's a stop sign. Okay, so we can get that paperwork done and email to you, Mr. Chai, or Chi, I'm so sorry. Mr. Chi, if we email that to you at the email that we have on file, is that going to work?
Perfect.
Okay, can you print it, sign it, and email it back to us?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you're paying that today?
Once the paperwork is put in, yes. They said I had a week to pay for it. So just to be on the safe side to make sure you guys get the paperwork, I'll probably pay it tomorrow.
Okay. The reason I asked Mr. Metzen, how long is the deferral for them?
It's 120 days, Your Honor.
Okay. And the payment is by Friday.
I gave him by the end of next Friday, just to
Next
make sure that there's no chance that he pays before the deferral has been processed.
Okay. Are you emailing us that paperwork, or are we generating it?
I can send it directly to him if that would be easiest.
No, usually I sign it. So
Okay.
and then we email it out directly from us. So email it to the clerk, which is Erin, Ms. Stotts, and we will get that done here in the court.
Okay, can do.
Mr. Chai, that should be sometime this morning.
Perfect. Thank you.
You have up till May 13th to make payment. And what I will say there is, if you want to pay online, you can go to the municipal courts tab for the city of Temple. We have an option there. You can, I believe, call a clerk, or you can come by.
Okay.
Okay. You have any further questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're good to go.
Thanks.
Just-
Thanks, Judge Person.
Thank you, Mr. Chai. Mr. Mattson, you're moving forward with Franklin Gayamfi. Did I say that correctly, Mr. Gayamfi? Am I close?
You're muted, sir.
It's Jumpy, ma'am.
Say it again.
Jumpy.
Gemfi. Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Gemfi, I'm going to forward you over to that meeting breakout space. We'll see you at the end, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I too am moving forward with Miss LaQuisha Roberts.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Miss Roberts. How are you today?
Good, and you?
Thank you for asking. I'm fine. Let me get your paperwork pulled up. Okay, and I saw from your paperwork that at this time you do not have income. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And I will be ordering community service. And that turns into 22 hours of community service. The city is one of the providers on the community service list. If you work with them, they require that you sign a waiver. I'm going to ask you to sign that waiver today, but then you're free to choose where you want to work, provided it is a nonprofit. I'll give you a timesheet, and I'll give you a list of places, and I'll give you a list of directions. Do you want to come by the court to pick all that up? Or do you want to have us email to you?
Can you email it to me?
I can, as long as you can print it, sign with your legal signature, and email it back. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am. Or I can also pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. Is there a reason why we couldn't get it emailed back from you today?
I don't have a printer.
Gotcha. And you can't come in today?
I can try to use like the Adobe app and sign it and send it back to you if it works that way.
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay. Yeah, can you print it? I'll just go to the library and print it off.
You can come here and we can print it. We're just 2 blocks down from the
Okay.
Come to the court.
Okay. I'm in Colleen at the moment.
Okay. And so you cannot get here today?
It probably won't be till later on today.
That's fine. We don't close until 5. What time
Okay.
should we look for you?
So like 3.
Okay, I'll make a note of that in your file, and we'll have everything ready for you at the front desk. It shouldn't take more than a moment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, you're good to go, ma'am. Okay, so moving forward, let's see. Starziri Mays, Ms. Mays.
Yes.
Hey, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm fine. Let's see. Let me just hand off one quick thing. Okay. Let's see. There we go. So let's see. So, I'm showing that I still could order community service, but the problem is we're really hopping back and forth and not making a lot of progress. If I do the community service, okay, it's 9 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to need to see something, within 30 days.
Okay.
And so let me check one thing. Space.
Yes.
ES. First name, Starzari. Community service paperwork waiver. There. Somewhere around that date. I don't know if it would be with the order, but it would certainly be around that time. I'm just trying to see if we need a signature. Shouldn't be a conversion case, so that's. I'll tell you, if you click on more than one thing under this new system, I mean, I've had it just lock me out and I have to reboot my computer. And that's while I wait for a document for far longer than it should be. We're having software problems. So my apologies, I promise that we'll get there. Let me see. Okay, we still need a signature on your community service. And so what I will ask you to do is come by the court today. Can you come this morning or does it need to be this afternoon?
It can be this afternoon, like about 3:15.
Okay. Great. We will get your signature, hand you everything you need. There'll be a timesheet, a list of places, a list of rules.
Okay.
And as long as I can get 9 hours from a nonprofit under state law and verify it, then I will zero out your balance. Your due date is June 7th, and that will be at the top of your paperwork, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you're good to go. Okay. And so let's see. Okay, Mr. Jamfi. There we go.
Hello.
Okay. Hi. Okay, Mr. Matson, are we at resolution or are we heading to trial?
We are at resolution, Your Honor. Mr. Jaffe will be placed on deferral as well.
Okay.
He is going to complete a driver safety course by the 60th day of the deferral period.
Okay.
And he has requested that the payment be split up into 1/3 of the total each month.
I can follow that. And I will work with him on the specific dates and I will get that to him. Okay. And then I'm going to move you forward with Aaron Seastrunk. Mr. Seastrunk, I'm going to move you over to that meeting. Okay. We'll see you at the end. Mr. Jamfi,
Yes,
breaking that up into 3 payments is no problem. It turns into 85. 85. I'm sorry. And 84. And you're military?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So normally I'm accustomed to military folks having the 1st and the 15th work out for them. Is that
Yes, ma'am.
the case for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we started this month, it would be the 16th because that's a Monday. Will that work for you, or do we need to move into June?
No, that's fine. This month is fine.
So 5/16 is the first one. Then the second one would be June 15th. And then the last one would be July 15th. And I'm going to have your course due. He said 60 days, but let's have it due the same day you're doing that payment. I'm a fan of smaller pieces, right? Not as many dates. The more dates we have in an order, the more likely people are to forget a date. And so I'm just going to add about 10 days to that due date. I don't think he would mind. And it makes it easier for you and the clerk who's tracking that. So we're going to, can we email that to you and have you sign it, print it, sign it, and email it back?
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
Okay. Can we use the email that we have on file?
Yes, ma'am.
And I need it back today. Can we get that done?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll email it to you sometime this morning, okay?
Roger that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jemfe.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ms. Johnson, can you unmute and talk to me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I did review everything that you sent to the court. Thank you. And I did have, it seems to me, if I've got this right now you don't have income. You have 3 kids. Your son is diabetic. You are his caretaker. Are your kids were all teens? Are they? And I don't envy you 3 teens at the same time. Right? Yeah. Do you have, are they in school? Where are they in school locally?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I can order community service and you can do it while they're in school. How does that sound?
Yes, ma'am. That sounds fine.
I'm going to start the total for all 3 cases. The total for all 3 cases. I need to do one adjustment. That is a 2009 DWI. So the fine is way higher than it is now. And I'm going to reduce that to $100. I'm doing a reduction on one of the cases because it is old and that fine has changed. So give me a moment to do that before I tell you the number of hours, because that is going to reduce the number of hours, okay? Can you hold on just a moment?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Matson, let me get Mr. Seastrunk back over. Okay. So Mr. Seastrunk, Mr. Matson, are we moving to resolution or are we moving toward trial?
We are moving towards resolution, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Seastrunk will be placed on a deferral for 120 days, and he will also be taking 4 hours of an anger management course.
Okay.
And he said that he can pay the fine in full once the deferral paperwork has been processed. So I gave him the same deadline as Mr. Chi by the end of next Friday, but he can do it earlier.
Okay. And just so that you know, Mr. Matson, we don't have any difficulty getting that done on the day of. But next Friday is fine. 5/13. We have a Friday the 13th coming up. Okay. And so, Mr. Seastrunk, the anger management class, I would assume, is going to be due by July 5th. We will give you that paperwork as well, a list of places where you can do that work. And then I guess what I'm going to ask you is, can you come by the court to sign, or are we able to email to the email that you have on file and have you print it, sign it, and email it back?
Yes, I can print it, email it back to you and sign it.
Okay. We'll email it to you this morning. We'll look to get it back this morning. If you're going to make payment online, you can do so. You can call a clerk, okay? You can go to the Municipal Courts tab on the City of Temple website, and we have a payment option there. Or you can come by. I'm assuming you won't be coming by because we're doing everything through email. So we should get that to you this morning, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Seastrunk?
No, ma'am.
Then you're good to go.
Okay, you have a good one.
Thank you. You too, sir. Mr. Matson, we did not hear so far from Crystal Olivares nor from Stacy Dodd or Tanisha Burson. So those cases will advance to the next place. And so you're good to go.
Just to make sure we're on the same page, Your Honor, for
Yes.
Mr. Seastrunk and Mr. Gianfi, is the deferral paperwork going to be generated by the court?
Yes.
Okay, so I will send you the reduction for Ms. Haltom and the deferral for Mr. Chi, and that should take care of everyone for today.
That works well.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
Too. Ms. Johnson, we're almost ready for you as well. Did we get that reduction? We're still. Of course, I'll let Mr. Matson logs in. Sorry, Ms. Dodd. Can we call Ryan and see if he can log back in? I mean, I'm assuming he would rather visit with her than not. Miss Dodd, her audio is not connected yet. So her audio is, we're trying to connect her audio. Let me know when Johnson's ready. Okay. On Stacy Dodd, do we have a phone number? I'll look. Or can you see? Three, 3, 4, 5. Sorry? No, it's the audio is not connected. Hi, Miss Dodd.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Judge Person in the Temple Municipal Court, and I can see you in my meeting, but your audio is not connecting.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to, I kind of woke up a little bit, I'm sorry, and I'm having problems with connecting to it. I haven't used it before.
Okay, what I'm going to do is have the prosecutor call you back at this number, and let's do this by phone, okay?
Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to hang up and I'm going to move him to do that, and then, we can communicate again, okay?
okay, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Mr. Matson, I'm going to give you her phone number. I'm actually going to send it in the chat because I typically do not release phone numbers by phone. There you go. And what I would suggest is just mute yourself and make that call, and then unmute and talk to me about it.
Okay, Your Honor. I have to do that plea bargain in county at 10 o'clock really quick.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that might be a minute or two.
Okay. All right. Miss Dodd, I hope you can hear us. He will call you shortly. He is due in another court online, and that may mean that he's coming and going a little bit. You're quite late to the meeting. We're going to try to accommodate you, but now that meeting had ended. But you got lucky. I was still here. And so Mr. Matson was willing to come back into the meeting. So he's got to be two places at once. So just bear with us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Are we good on Johnson? Okay. What's the new title, please? 360? Yeah, the three. Oh, thank you, 13. Okay. All right, Miss Johnson, I'm almost there now.
Okay.
Okay, I need to address one thing too. Miss Johnson, in order to get your license released, I can release your ability to get an ID by recalling your warrants today, but the license I release once you are done with your cases. In this case, I've gotten you down from 89 to 46 hours total. I'm looking to get that back no later than July 5th. If you need more time, you can apply to the court and ask for more time and extension. If you do that on or before your due date of the 5th of July, I'm most likely going to just keep working with you till we get it done. I have a list of places where you can do the work. They include the city of Temple. It's just one of many places you can choose from. I do need your signature on a waiver today. Can we have you come by the court to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll have that at the front desk for you shortly. What time do you think you might get here today?
Right after we hang up this phone.
Okay, just stay safe and we'll see you shortly, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. On Miss Johnson, and so I used her. And with that reduction added. Yes, ma'am. Miss Dodd, we're just waiting. Mr. Matson will be back shortly. I know you can, I think you can hear me, but I'm not, I hope so. I'm just working paperwork until he comes back because you're our only person at this time. Oh, there we go. We got your audio. Ooh, it's still pretty shaky. Okay. We'll be with you shortly, Ms. Dodd. Just stay there.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Let's see. Yes. You bet. On this log. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if the order's there. I can send it. We can print the community service order. Let me send that print job. You okay? What happened? Oh, I'm opening that order to see if I can get it to print since I've been having trouble. Casey's gonna want to come over and open my computer and see what's going on. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna print it anyway, just to see what happens. No. Rent's not even listed as an option, so there we go. Routing around it. But thank you. This is someone who just keeps not showing up, so they can just get 30 days to pay in full, and that's that. Yeah. Excuse me. get a moment. Help me with this file. It's La Casta, Thomas. So when we say on here that we're missing a case, do we have please in those cases? Okay, because everything looks like it's in case. But then when I see pending, I don't know why sometimes, like here, it says business profile, and then pending use. Okay. And no appearance on the appearance date has come and gone. Is that right? Okay. I'll be right back. notes and all. Mhm. Okay. Ms. Dodd, I hope you can hear. Mr. Matson, the city's prosecutor, is still in that other court. We're just waiting, and that's why we're all sitting here on hold.
Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, do you need me or Ms. Stotts? What's up? I mean, it's a good thing and everything, but I can't change it. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Matson, Ms. Dawn she has definitely stayed on the meeting and she's been able to unmute a few times. So we're hoping things are working out. So I'm going to, Ms. Dodd, I'm going to go ahead and send you over to that meeting space and we'll see. What I'm going to assume is that if your audio is still a challenge, the prosecutor will call you. So I'm making that movement now and we'll see how it works out.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll just call her. Yeah. So, Mr. Matson, what I'm going to do is tell Ms. Dodd, let me have you hang up. Mr. Matson is going to call. So here's the thing. She keeps going away like that, and then she's back in without me admitting her. So she keeps floating in between two worlds, basically. It still shows her not joining the other meetings, but it won't let me move her to the other meeting now. Because it shows that I've sent her to the other meeting. So
Okay.
I think the best way to resolve this is I'm going to hang her up, Ms. Dot. I'm going to hang you up. Mr. Matson is going to call you. And then what I'm going to do is have you log back in the meeting after y'all have that conversation.
Okay.
Okay. Your technology is just not our friend today for whatever reason. And Mr. Matson, I'm going to say to you, just mute, call her, and then you might leave her on your phone and we'll just do it that way with you both together through your link. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, thank you. The crazy part is I'm making notes in LT, and every time she goes in and out like that, it wipes out my notes and closes that file and doesn't show that I was in that file. Something is just bizarre about her connection. So I was making notes in that file, but I have given up on that one. A stack of no shows. Mm.
Okay, we reached an agreement, but she hung up after I said I was gonna put her on speakerphone, so I'm gonna call her back, I suppose.
That's great.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have the judge in the room as well, and we're just gonna go over what we agreed to.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, Ms. Dodd and I have agreed that she will be placed on deferral 120 days, and she will be taking a tobacco awareness class, 6 hours by the 60th day of the deferral period.
Okay.
And then she said that she can pay the fine immediately.
Okay. I think all things considered, the best option is for her to come to the court this morning to sign her documents and do payment, and we can give her her class information.
Ms. Dodd, is there a good time today that you'd be able to swing by the courthouse to sign your paperwork?
Yes, sir.
When would that be?
You can be here anytime soon.
Say by noon, does that work?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, she said that she can be there by noon.
Great, I can hear that too. Okay, thank you. That resolves this one. Great.
All right, Ms. Dodd, the court will see you at noon, and that will take care of your ticket, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay. The ones that he's doing. Yeah, some of them we were doing. Okay, he clarified it on me. Hand them all back to me and I'll tell you which ones. Mr. Mattson, which deferrals are you sending over?
I believe Alvin Chi is the only deferral I'm sending you.
Okay, and we're doing the other ones. And you have those reductions, right?
I'm sorry.
Those reductions, I think they might have come in already.
You already took care of the reductions?
No, I'm asking, there were reductions you were sending?
Yes, for Ms. Haltom. I have it printed out. I just haven't signed it yet.
Okay. All right. And that was the only one today, right? Okay. So he's sending over Chi. The other ones I sorted out. So I wrote down the conditions. And okay. All right. We're good to go, I think.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you for being patient with that. I did get to meet Mr. Kremeyer.
Oh, very good. Is he on the case with you?
He was the defendant's attorney. So I got to see him and we're going to move forward with that.
Very good. All right. It's a matter of time you meet Jim Kremeyer at some point.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.